Hello everybody, how you doing? Lord PD TV here for lordsofgaming.net, and I am here to give you a little bit of information about a fantastic game called Gray Zone Warfare. We were able to obtain the keys from Madfigure Games to end up playing it and kind of going through the process during the media VIP timeframe that they were able to give everybody. Now, what I want to talk about is a couple of really interesting things that I found out about the game. So make sure you check us out here. Make sure you hit subscribe to see more news. And as always, if you're looking for more information from me, I have my own YouTube channel. You can check myself out there. All right. So first thing we're going to end up talking about Gray Zone Warfare is the environment. The environment is lush. It is beautiful. It is amazing. Now, the biggest thing I want to talk about is that environment. And the reason for that is when you are engaged in an environment like this, where it is a PvPvE experience, that environment makes everything changing. Between elevation, location, how many leaves are on a tree, distance from marks, all of those things really matter. And when it comes to the zone and you're running through, the amount of trees, the amount of buildings, all of that stuff in town really matters. And they have this slogan, which is every move matters, and it really does when it comes to this game. We ran it mostly as a 2v2, myself and, Official Shammer, through, the zone, trying to get a lot of the tasks done. Now, when we were going through, the environment was so strong that there were some times where we ended up getting swarmed because of combat sounds, noises, locations. There was a lot of things where that stuff kind of came into play. It took us a little bit of time to kind of get used to the environment and how things moved. Now, I will say that we were playing on an Asian server, and I think it was like Asia 1 or whatever it was, that server, because it was very empty and we really didn't have any resistance towards any other players there, and it was mostly just us and from our faction, and we were able to just work on tasks and get some stuff done. And we mostly were working with the AI when it came to the combat. Now, from what I saw with the combat, we learned that the weapons that you're getting and you're given are a lot stronger than the guns that you find in the field, so to speak. So that really makes you wonder what weapons you should bring in. Should you bring in this type of handgun? Should you bring in this kind of M4? All of these different variables, like how many rounds of bullets, how many clips, all of these things, kind of made you wonder what was going to happen and what was going on. Now, I took all of that kind of into that thought process into play when I was going into this game. Now, when I went in and you fought the AI in those combat scenarios, I thought that it was a very... The way that the AI kind of worked and was kind of like pinning you was very, very smart. Sometimes they would hide, sometimes they were out in the open, sometimes they would move, depend upon when you would get, initiate combat, so on and so forth, which made it a lot of very interesting gameplay. There was some times that I found that the AI kind of bugged out a little bit, and they kind of we're just sitting on a post, rotating, spinning, and stuff like that. But it's probably just because it was so early on that, there was just little spots that ended up getting bugged. And, the guys asked us, please make sure you end up taking, the information and telling us where that is to make sure that we can give you that information. Easy enough. Bang, bang, boom. We sent that to them, and stuff ended up seamlessly getting fixed very, very quickly. Now, the other thing we realized while in combat and with dealing with the AI is that the farther away from the target you got, the easier it was to deal with. When we were using the M4A1s, you'd end up having to put, 5 or 6 rounds into the body and the person would die. But if you got distance from them, you took the time, you took a second, you can end up, aligning your shot, holding your breath, shooting with the force scoped ACOG. You can end up taking down the guys without an issue. The other thing is that the more tasks you end up completing, the more things kind of opened up for you. So you can start getting silencers, you can start getting things like that you can put onto your weapons to make them, quieter and easier to deal with. So you could do more of a silent run, which is something you tend to want to do. Now, I'm not 100% positive, and this is something that I'm hoping once we get Rick to kind of talk about on this channel, and talk to maybe somebody from Madfinger Games. Well, what was the thought process that they were kind of implying when it came to this game? Was it more based on we're supposed to go in, get our loot, get our guns, get whatever we need, and kind of supply ourselves? Or are we supposed to get loot that's there, take it out, sell it, so that we can end up, getting ammunition, getting what we need for the weapons that we're bringing in? And is it that those weapons that we are going to be bringing in act and work better than the weapons you're going to get in the field, so to speak? Now, what myself and Shammer would end up doing, over time is we would end up taking turns. He would end up going in pretty much with an empty rig, and I would go in with an M4. We'd end up clearing up, supplying whatever individual was pretty much empty geared. We'd do a task, we would leave, then he would end up going in with the M4, I would go in empty, and then I would go in, get loot, get whatever we need, and then leave. I do like the fact that you can't hold on to two big weapons. I do like the fact that you'd have to have one weapon secured onto your backpack, and then you have your one in your hand, and then your sidearm. I really like that. That really prevents you from, having to switch from one really strong weapon to another strong weapon while you're in the middle of a firefight. I'm very curious on where they were going with the bullet realism. Now, I know that as horrible as it sounds, and I don't like comparing games, but I know that Tarkov actually has a in-game system that allows you to kind of work with it and kind of explain to you how the AI is how the bullet realism is dealing with the way that things are spread and the way that things are shot, the way that damage is hit on bodies. Because I feel like sometimes when you're running through, and I get hit by the AI, I get hit 2 or 3 rounds and I'm dead. Or I peek around a corner and AI is, far in the distance, and he ends up one-shotting me. And I'm just what is this? I could understand it being randomly generated. I can understand it happening once in 50 times, but it happened a lot more than I was expecting. And I don't know if that was something that is built into the AI or not, but I thought that was a little absurd, because I was just I get having to take a bunch of rounds. I get that. I get the whole system that they have, which is really, really a great system for bleeds, breaks, sprains, painkillers, all that stuff. That was really, really well done, and I really thought that was great. I'm just curious to know how their bullet realism for the AI and the bullet realism for you, how it is when you shoot, because there's some times where I was using an AK and I would have to put a full clip out, and I was okay, that didn't even kill the dude. Or there's times I was using a full clip and then the guy would die. Or there's times where I would be using my handgun and I was just laying into somebody, and when I was laying into him, I would end up putting 2-3 clips. So that's what, more than 35 rounds into somebody, and then they're still standing there. And I'm just wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. was thinking maybe they have armor, maybe that something's going on. I'm like, is my shots off? I don't think so. I was like, they're pretty well on in the chest area. So there's stuff like that which I really didn't understand, and I was very curious to know how they were going with the realism with those, like, bullet shots and things like that. So I'm very, very curious on where they're playing with that. So I think that overall, I think that they have a really, really great grasp of where they're going with it, and where they're moving with it. I am gonna say this as a full disclaimer: I did watch some people do PvP with the 1v1. Oh well, I should say like 4v4 system, because just a quick reminder: each team of people, there are 4 people per squad, and I'm gonna say 16. It's either 12 or 16 of people per group of per faction on the map, which means that's a great deal of people. And I did see that there was I did see like a 4v4 squad fight once or twice. Well, not once, but like more than like 2 or 3 times through other streamers, and I saw how the combat was, and it seemed a little weird, because it was just like you'd hear a bunch of people like sending off a couple of rounds, and then one guy just die, and then another person would send off a bunch of rounds, and another person would just die. It felt like almost like the headshots were the way to go, which makes me really wonder: is the PvP portion of this really well balanced or ready yet? And if they're going for realism, I get it. You take a bullet to the head, you're dead. That's not where I'm going with it. I'm just wondering what their overall plan is for that. So there's lots of questions and a lot of things that I'm very, very interested in learning and seeing and dealing with. So we'll see, and hopefully we can get some of those answers here. All right. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button here. We're going to be putting out more videos like this. We're going to be showing everybody more things. Also, lots of articles in lordsofgaming.net. Make sure you check them out there. As always, my name is Lord PDTV. I am online almost every single Monday through Friday on YouTube and Twitch. So please check us out. All right. I love you all. Thank you for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed, the combat that we're going to be leaving with you. And I hope you all enjoy Gray Zone Warfare. Pick it up, wishlist it. I think that this is going to have a huge potential to really, really change, the shooter genre. So check us out. Check them out. All right. Appreciate you all. Bye, everybody.
Yep, I see him.
Taking care of this bleed. You okay?
No? Now I am.
Now, yeah. Just trying to get this guy's belt. What the hell, man? Where was the objective to drop?
In this little room right here.
All right. How does it say? What does it say?
Place tracker.
Oh, high tracker. Okay, gotcha. Let me just check how I'm doing here. Okay. As of right now, I only have 80 rounds. Where's the other spot we gotta go here?
We have to wrap up to the warehouse. So we go out the way we came, essentially, and go through the rice fields.
Okay, hold on. Would it be better to go to the LZ, go back to base, resupply, go back up, or no?
No. I don't think we're going to meet that much resistance doing it. I mean, considering I have... I still have 3 mags and a grenade. Or 4 mags, including...
Oh, yeah, I brought an M4 with me, so...
Yeah.
I don't know where you went. Oh, you're right there.
Right behind you. Nothing good.
Hello!
Go a little bit.
Is that a dude in front of us? Or is that a bush?
Bush.
Crossing. Getting stam up.
Yeah. And then we hug this side. This big bush all the way in.
Let's say, is this a place we've been to like multiple times before?
Watch out, guy on the road right here.
Where?
This is where we went when you first dropped in.
I hear
Oh,
combat.
they saw us?
Got one. You okay?
Tourniqueting.
Got a second. I don't know why, but it's just my arm strength is low. Oh, probably because I was holding it too long. Oh, that's what the left one is. The left one is arm strength, okay. I don't hear anything. Are you good?
Yes. Recovering. I got the old dizzy brain.
That's me.
Yep.
Here's somebody behind
Nope, on the right. Got him.
you. Nice. There is an AK right here.
Off to the right. Sounded like.
I wish I could use these bullets from the AK, but
I can.
yeah, I know. Yeah, this bike vest has got 2. You know what? Do you have the marker done or no?
Yeah.
Somebody's on the road, far down. He's dead.
Good. All right, so we're just going to this building to the left right here.
Alright, I'm coming over.
Got it? Had the tracker.
My turn. Hide tracker. Alright.
Now we exfil.
Going south or north?
South. I mean, it's a straight shot. Wait, let me see if I can... I cannot.
What?
Pick that up and store it.
No. I've tried everything. Apparently, they won't let you store weapons inside of backpacks. The only thing you can do is use that other weapon spot, I guess you could call it.
The big backpack with the weapon spot? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's realistic. I mean, how often do people run around with two ginormous weapons on them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You can watch me. I'm gonna, like, walk straight and not do anything right now. I'm gonna eat my food. Eating my meatloaf. I'm still
Be
pretty...
back later, maybe.
Okay, we'll be here.
Alrighty.
My wife had to physically remove my son from my body.
Mm-hmm.
Raven dispatched, moving to Charlie 2.
He apparently did not want to let me go. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what to do when you get up here.
What do you mean?
Because we're gonna, well, when you come up here, because you have such a short period of time. We're gonna just hang out for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Take a picture together, be like, yo, we saw each other!
Found.
Oh. Yeah, pretty quick. What? That is not our helicopter. We have 2.5 minutes.